And so the practice of mindful eating, in a sense, it comes from being completely present, but also as food, as nourishment, and getting all the energy. And it's really something we can talk about, but it's more important to experience it. And that's why we're going to do an experience. So hopefully you haven't eaten what you have it in your hand. And I want you to go ahead, close your eyes, and let's bring the thread in from what we just did with Sachin, and breathe in and out, noticing your belly, and it feels perhaps an interesting texture, perhaps it feels warm. And what I want you to do is, keeping your eyes closed, just take a nice deep breath, center yourself, and bring yourself back to the present moment, positive and calm. Right, and then open your eyes and take a look at what's in your hand. Take a look at this object and just notice its shape. Notice what color it is. Notice what texture it is. If it has ridges on it, is it smooth? And think about the journey that this little morsel of food took to be created and right inside of your palm right now. You might have a piece of chocolate or a nut. Some of you chose something to drink. I want you to think, what will it be like to eat this? Are you hungry right now? Is your mouth watering? It's natural for your mind to wander. Just bring it back. And now lift this little morsel of food and go ahead and smell it. Bring it right to your nose and notice, does it have a smell? And if you don't, some of you don't have something to eat, you're going to have to imagine this. And so have something in your mind that you just love to eat and smell it. And now, your eyes closed if they aren't already, put it in your mouth, but do not chew. Put this little morsel of food in your mouth, take a bite out of it, take a sip of it, and don't chew, just let it swirl around on your tongue. And then notice if it's starting to soften, if it's breaking down, if it's getting warmer, if the taste is changing. Just notice everything about the sensation. And then go ahead and start chewing. Keep your eyes closed so that you can really keep a laser sharp focus on the process of chewing. And concentrate on the taste of the food. And don't do anything else. Be completely present. What does it taste like? How much do you love it? Is it turning into liquid? And you're going to use that uniform smoothness of the food and that consistency to actually swallow. And notice when you do that, and sometimes we've done it already, you don't have to do anything to swallow. It happens naturally, just like your breath. But notice that mechanism of swallowing, and then continue with your eyes closed to breathe, positive and calm. And just think for a moment and reflect before you open your eyes. What was that experience like for you? How was that little morsel of food different than any other time you've had the same thing to eat? You've had this to eat before, but how was this time different? And would you want another one if I offered it to you right now? Or if you have a bigger piece in your hand, are you hungry for more? And the last question is, how might you bring this practice into your present life? And then when you're ready, you can go ahead and open your eyes. And my part is over, but if anybody could chat or speak out any experience, it's always interesting to hear.
That was a very different kind of experience. Normally, when I had a piece of chocolate, so normally I just open the chocolate or can or whatever the container and put it in my mouth to start eating. But this one was like eye closed. I can see the shape and everything. Then I can smell it. Then when I put in my mouth, and before that, when I was like I had in my hand, my mouth started watering actually. It never happened before because normally I open the jar and eat it. The water, my mouth was watering, and I keep looking. I never paid attention. They have the lines and all those things, so we just kind of eat it. And then when I smell it, I never smell before I eat. So when I put it in my mouth, like the water was gushing out, like just going around, and it was much more sweeter and creamier. And more water was going, a lot of water was coming inside my mouth was getting full. This kind of experience I never experienced because I eat one piece and okay, I ate the second piece. So that was my experience.
Yeah, thanks, Pushpa. Actually, chocolate is a wonderful thing to do this exercise with. And those of you who didn't have a piece of chocolate, I would highly recommend the next time you do choose to eat chocolate that you try this exercise, because we do this with foods that we tend to, like chocolate chips, that we tend to eat one and then eat another, and we can eat so much, but often we eat something like this and we realize, wow, that was so sweet and that was very satisfying. We might not eat as much of it and we might enjoy it even more. That was wonderful sharing. Thank you, Pushpa.
Erika, I also wanted to kind of share an experience where growing up, your parent or our parents and grandparents would always say, when you're sitting on a table eating food, focus on the food, don't get distracted, and chew it 32 times, not just for the digestion, but also to enjoy the food. And this was a similar experience I think we all had. So thank you.
I just want to add that this is good because chewing actually aids in digestion. So many of us have a problem with digestion, and digestion actually starts when we put it in the mouth, all the enzymes that come out in the saliva. So the first phase of digestion is in the mouth. So when you chew, the digestion already starts even before it hits the stomach, where it churns the food and makes it even smaller and goes into the intestine. But the important first step is actually in the mouth. And we gulp the food so fast, we skip the first part altogether. So this is good.
Yeah, cool, nice. Thank you so much, Erika.